This is Lara Henares making your day with an article I wrote on moral regeneration and foreign policy. And I quote, "I believe it is no business of government to intervene or judge what its citizens think or do with their bodies in the privacy of their homes, as long as they do not harm anyone else. I believe the government is obligated to promote moral values and a code of ethics that will govern their public life and relationship among each other as civilized human beings. First, I would like the President to create a presidential task force for values formation among leaders of selected religious organizations and NGOs to formulate this code of ethics and to exert their religious influence to denounce and correct unethical behavior of our politicians, bureaucrats, and businessmen. Second, I would like him to exorcise the hypocrisy of so-called religious leaders by investigating all such leaders, including priests and bishops, for fornicating, for hiding families born in sin, for sexually abusing children, and expose them to public ridicule. Number 3, I hope the Supreme Court would issue a writ of amparo against religious organizations that coerce their members to neglect their basic constitutional rights to vote freely and to organize to bargain collectively. I believe that this will level the playing field for all organizations seeking unfair and advantageous political influence. Number 4, I hope the Supreme Court will issue a writ of amparo against commercial firms violating the spirit of our laws by marathon use of temporary contract workers instead of giving them the rights and the benefits that permanent workers are entitled to. Moreover, I hope the President will use his executive powers to rectify this monstrous anomaly and conspiracy against the Filipino worker. Number 5, I hope the Congress will pass legislation for the full implementation of the constitutional provision against political dynasties. And if Congress refuses, I hope the President will lead a people's referendum directing that anyone related to an elected official within 6 degrees of consanguinity cannot run in an election for any public office unless otherwise provided by law. More about this after these messages. This is Lara Henares making your day with an article I wrote entitled Moral Regeneration and Foreign Policy. And I continue to quote and conclude. As for our foreign policy, I believe that the so-called special relations between the Philippines and the United States began when the first American rascal met the first Filipino fool. We are grateful for the liberation and grant of independence in 1945. We are grateful to a brilliant American lawyer, Elihu Root, who drafted the directive issued by President McKinley to the Taft Commission, granting the entire Bill of Rights gratis et amore, including the magnificent First Amendment, freedom of speech, assembly, and worship, the great Fourth Amendment against unreasonable search and seizures, also the wonderful 13th Amendment against involuntary servitude, giving us Filipinos in one fell swoop in 1901 what the Anglo-Saxons fought and bled and died for 450 years, since the Magna Carta in 1215, in Runnymede to the Habeas Corpus Act in 1640, to the Emancipation Proclamation 1863 after Gettysburg. But we are disappointed in the special relations after we became free and independent. Special relations have never been reciprocal. The parity rights granted in our Constitution to all Americans were never enjoyed by Filipinos anywhere in the United States except the state of New York. The $3 billion granted to us in 1945 consisted mostly of junk war surplus worth 5 cents to the dollar, and war reparations granted mostly to American companies in the Philippines, and back pay paid in pesos rather than in dollars. We resent CIA interference, the McCarthyist witch hunts, the low-intensity conflicts, and the American insistence that we stop industrializing to serve as a vegetable garden for the industrial economies of Japan, South Korea, and Taiwan. This is Lara Henares, making your day, saying good day, God bless you. Thank you very much for being with us. Till next time, hasta la bye-bye.